The purpose behind the blood glucose lab is to give students practice taking blood glucose readings. And they usually do it on themselves, or prior to 2020, they did it on themselves. Now, students use a device that looked like this, which is a blood glucose meter. What they would do is they would put this strip in, and this reads how much blood sugar you have, and it displays it on the screen. What student volunteers did was they would prick themselves on the finger, so it's bleeding. They put this on, they set it up, and you get an initial blood glucose level. So that's a low fasting blood glucose level. So they must not have eaten for a while. Now, they then obtain 90 grams of glucose. That's in the form of jelly beans. They eat 90 jelly beans. So this is sometimes a problem for students. And then, over the course of 2 hours, they would record their values. So you have a student, age 29, gender times 0, so 74. Then let's say it shot up to 120, 150. And the goal is to create a graph that looks something like this. So these are actually past year students. I had the results, and I graphed them. So we have times 0, that's their initial reading. Then it goes up, then it goes down. So all the students were normal. And blood glucose level is on the y-axis, time on the x-axis. So what you would do in the wet lab is you would do these readings for 2 hours, and then you would graph your results right here, doing line graphs for each of the students. Now, this lab's run into problems in recent years. Many of the students actually didn't want to do it, so I'd only have 2 or 3 volunteers per class. Eating 100 jelly beans is really hard, and I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with you guys actually eating in the classroom, which means you take your masks off. So we're going to this webpage where we have 5 students: Dakota, Jeremiah, Mary, Andrew, and Miranda. Now, 3 of these are real students. That's something very interesting happened. So I put those on. One of them is diabetic, and one of them is normal. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on the first patient, Dakota. I talked a little bit about her. Then you have to scroll down a little bit. There's the glucose meter, and you go over the R to find out what her initial reading is. Now, this is my sandbox page to show you how to actually do it, because I don't want to give away results. So here is time 0. That's our initial time. It corresponds to the time 0 right here. So here's our meter, and what you're supposed to do is click on the R, and this is chunky code. It's not as refined as the finished product. So the initial one was 95. Then I click next. We're going to pretend the person ate 90 grams of jelly beans, time 15. So this would be 15 minutes, and it's 150. Then you would click next, and you go on to 30, 45, 60, and so forth. So you're going to then record all your answers and graph it on Excel. Now, you could record them on Excel. So what I would do is I would actually have Excel open. So you've noticed that I'm going back between windows like that. I'm hitting Control Tab or Alt Tab. I would have an Excel spreadsheet already open, right? 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. And for our patients, I would record the values. So again, here's the first one. So I'm going to go over it. It was 95. So here, I'm going to write 95. I'm going to Alt Tab back to this window. Click Next. Then it's 150. Alt Tab to my Excel window and write 150. Oops. So that's an easy way to do your data. And basically, when you're done, you have your data looking like this. This is actually that demo set. You are going to go up to Insert. I want a line graph. So to get the line graph, I would click on this. The easiest way to make the line graph, I'm going to highlight the data. And notice I didn't highlight the row for the times. So highlight the data, line graph, I like points. There it is with our points. Now, chart title, I could just type in blood glucose over time. So here's my title. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 0, 20, 40, 60. So I'm going to click on the plot area. I'm going to right click on my PC or command click on my Mac, and I'm going to do select data. I'm going to click edit here, and I'm going to select those, click OK, click OK again, and now I have those. Now on the Macintosh, when I do the right click, select data, I get horizontal axis labels as a bar instead of this nice thing. Right here, click the far right side, there's a little checker. It's actually Excel cells, but there's a little checkerboard thing. I then select my data, hit enter, and then click OK, and the values appear there. So again, Excel likes being a little bit different on Macintoshes than on PCs. I'm sorry about that. So here it is. So, and you could even insert a number line if you have trouble with the Macintosh. So if it really does not want to put it in there, you can actually just go here. I clicked insert, text box, and I can actually do the numbers 0, 1, 15, 30, like so. Then when you're done, save the file, upload it, because part of the purpose of this lab is also that you make a graph yourself. So I hope this is not too confusing for you guys. I felt my written instructions were confusing, that's why I made this video. Thank you.